This is the brand new Toyota Yaris one make race car. It's the car at the bottom of the pyramid in Toyota's one make race series in Thailand. And that's a pyramid where you start racing. So this is the car you start racing in. You learn to race in this car and you can run it for a year without doing anything at all. Basically, you just turn up and you drive this car. Toyota series is designed to get people racing. If you've never raced a car before, you've just done track days, things like that, you can step in and race this. If you're coming up from karting, that sort of level, you can step into this. You can do it cheaply, and Toyota tried to make racing affordable for everyone. So this is the way you start, and the Yaris is back. This is a significant car. For the last 10 years or so, the Vios, the sedan version, has underpinned the series, but now they're bringing the Yaris back. It's a proper race car, it's got the dynamics of a race car. Today, this car is brand new. It arrived yesterday at Be Quick Racing. Toyota actually delivered the cars to customers yesterday. That's how fresh it is. And I wanted to catch it while it was body in white before Be Quick wrapped the car up. So we're just missing a seat actually. There's one thing, when I go through the car, we have no seat. Apart from that, it's ready to race. It runs, it's good to go. They want to get the cars quickly to the team so they can get familiar with them, get used to them. The seat's going to arrive in the next 24 hours or so, but we're going to have to make do without that. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to walk you through this car. Before I start going through the car, I just want to give a little bit of background because this is unusual for an OEM. Usually an OEM produces a new model, it brands it up, it wants to get the shape out there, it goes racing. This generation, the third generation Yaris, actually came out about 10 years ago, actually 2013 to be exact, so 9 years in Thailand. So it's unusual that a car of that age through its lifespan would jump into a one make series as a new race car, but Toyota have chosen to do that. One, it's a popular, well-selling car here, and clearly they see a lot more life in this generation in Thailand. It's going to be around for a few more years for sure. And it's also had quite a number of tidy-ups, facelifts and things over the years since it's been in Thailand. So it's still quite a fresh looking car. And in racing spec, it looks pretty good. So it's not brand new. Toyota have brought it, like I say, into the series quite a way through its life. But the big difference here is that all the Toyotas here are 1.2 automatics. This is the only country in Asia, in Southeast Asia, where all the markets get this car to run a 1.2 engine. And the reason for that is the Thai government give a very good tax incentive for 1.2 cars, which they call an eco car category. So let's talk about the engine. The engine is pretty stock. The first thing you see when you lift the bonnet up is the manual transmission. Auto box is gone, ditched, and you've got that manual in there in its place. Apart from that, it's stock engine. The VVTi engine, the 1.2 litre, it's a strong, robust unit. Toyota want you to buy this car. They want you to be able to race it for years and years without having to worry about rebuilds. So they keep it simple, they keep it pretty stock as it came out from the factory that makes the engines. They've flashed the ECU, so there should be more drivability, a bit more power, but not an awful lot. And this is also quite a light car. It's just over 1,000 kilos. So by the time they rip out the interior and all the ancillaries and the accessories, this should be a fairly light car. So you don't need too much power to make this work. There's a full racing exhaust on it and a pretty nice manifold as well. But really, that's it for the engine bay. Toyota want you basically to keep it as it is. They just want you changing like the water, the oil, the air filter. They just want you changing the consumable parts and keep the engine and the engine bay stock. So you can buy this car. You should be thinking of racing it if you want to stay at this level for 4 or 5 years. And if you want to move on, you should have a car that has a good resale value as well. If we look at the styling, I think that's something very significant, because what we're seeing over the years with Toyota's one make race and before it Honda's one make race is that they really keep the cars very simple, very basic, and they kind of look like they're straight out of the showroom. But the bar has gone up over the past few years. Toyota's last one-make car was the Altis, which fits at the top of their pyramid of racing. You've got the Yaris, then you've got the Vios, then you've got the Altis. That was quite a significant car. They put a sequential gearbox in it. They put a pretty cool styling kit on it. So people are raising the bar. And also last year, the Honda City one-make race arrived. And again, that pushed the bar up a bit. So now the manufacturers in their one-make series, really, they're not just producing something that is as cheap as they possibly can to produce, no frills at all. They're actually building pretty nice styling aero kits. And this kit is pretty nice, it's pretty stylish, and it's a bespoke kit especially for this car. It's designed, manufactured in Thailand, especially for this car. And as you can see, we've got quite a big splitter on the front here. We've got these intakes on the side, we've got over fenders on both the front and the rear wheel arches to give it a bit of width, to give it some strength, some stature. And we've got quite a strong rear wing on the back as well. If you check my video from the motor show, which I'm going to drop a link below, where I introduced the car when it was just shown as a demo prototype, different wing, quite a sophisticated wing. Now they've dropped the final production wing onto the car. It looks quite good, it molds in. It's not what they did on the show car, but it's still pretty decent. But you can see all the styling around the car. It's pretty nice, it's pretty aggressive, and it gives it a real strong feel. And again, the side skirts, I should mention, they're quite profiled. So you've got a lot to them, and other touches like the bonnet pins, safety toe, all those sort of things are there as well. They've made a lot of effort for this generation of car. It's a nice. Let's have a look inside. And the first thing I've got to say is what I said before, I have never reviewed a race car without a seat in it. But today I have to, because I wanted to catch this car in body in white, completely fresh. It arrived from Toyota yesterday. The seat, the harnesses, the nets, they're all coming. So I just wanted to grab the car because soon it'll be wrapped up, get ready to race. And also, this is the only time I have to come down and do it. So I'm going to review the interior with no seat. So you're just going to have to imagine a Bride race seat, Sabelt harnesses, the usual sort of thing. And the first thing I've got to say is the roll cage has been pretty neatly done. It's been contoured to avoid the dashboard. So that means you don't damage the dashboard, you don't cut through it, and you can retrofit this car. It's a bolt-in roll cage as well. So if you want to buy this car, you don't want to go racing after a while, you can retrofit it into a road car. It's straightforward to do. Now basically it's got a Sparco steering wheel, pretty nice. It's got a Boss to it as well, so it all fits in. Everything else is pretty standard. You've still got the heater controls, you've still got the air conditioning, which is good if you're in a race car. Air conditioning is really handy. You've got a USB terminal, power points, so you can plug in your data loggers, things like that. But this is the most interesting thing, because you won't find, apart from this batch of Yarises that have been built over the last couple of months, you won't find this generation 3 Yaris in Thailand with a manual stick. And that's the big difference with this car. A manual stick, you can drive it like a race car. Apart from that, the interior is as you would expect. It's stripped out, it's still got the door cards in it, but everything else has been pulled out. And you've got the usual safety things like the plumbed in fire extinguisher. You've got fire extinguisher here, and you've got your kill switch here and your start switch here, the usual FAA style switch. Apart from that, the interior is pretty basic. When I sat one of the prototypes, you sit really low, as you'd expect with a race car, but pushing down the center of gravity is absolutely everything in a race car. You've got aluminium plate here, aluminium footrest, and you've got 3 pedals, which you wouldn't normally expect. So the new transmission, the pedals, all that's been swapped over. So that's pretty much the interior. It's basic, it's pretty functional. This is the driver's office. In terms of wheels and tires, the wheels are 15-inch Project D from Lenso wheels, strong wheel. Lenso are a long-term partner of Toyota Gazoo Racing in Thailand. Logical that they're going to run on their wheels. The tyres are from Yokohama. It's a fixed tyre supplier. Yokohama provide the tyres right across the Toyota One Make series, so it runs on Toyota One Make tyres. 195 50 15 tyres. Wheels and tyres are strong, good. It's a road legal tyre as well, so to keep the cost down, if you want to, you can drive to the race. This tyre will last you the whole season, so you don't need to keep changing tyres. It's mandatory that you use that tyre, so you're not putting anything else on for qualifying. Keep the costs down, get your money's worth out of it. Suspension is adjustable front and rear. It's lowered, it's adjustable. New springs on it as well, so you got racing suspension and springs to give it that nice stance, that nice racing feel. You can feel how low it is compared to a stock Yaris. The last thing I want to talk about is Toyota's One Make series, that this will race in and this will form the base of the pyramid. When you start racing in this series, you can start with this car. Toyota Gazoo Racing's One Make series in Thailand is really a benchmark for One Make series. It's been going for a donkey's years. I've been in Thailand more than 10 years. It was well established before then. When I arrived, there was a Toyota series and Honda did one, but Honda dropped out a long time ago, pretty soon after I came. Must be at least 10 years since they are gone from the landscape. Although GPI bring back models and Honda support them in some ways as well, so you get like the Honda City One Make race that's come now. But Toyota's one is just something completely else. It's a standalone series. It's absolutely amazing what it offers people in terms of cheap cars, cheap running costs and a whole show. And you get lots of spectators because at each event, Toyota brings in the celebrities, they bring in the bands, they have actors driving their cars, and the people come to watch because they love that kind of thing, the whole show aspect. And they also take it to different tracks. So particularly the reason I'm here today is this car arrived yesterday. It's going to get wrapped up in a couple of hours, going to get ready for Bang Sen next week. So Toyota's One Make series this year kicks off in Bang Sen, the greatest race for me in Asia. I've made other videos on Bang Sen, you can look at them. But for me, it's an insane, fantastic street race. Perfect to be in that. If you want to race in Thailand, you want to race at Bang Sen. So you buy one of these, the first thing you're going to do is race in Bang Sen. That's a big box checked off. Then they also have two other temporary street races, up in the north in Chiang Mai, down in the south in Phuket. Now no other series goes north or south like that anyway. These are temporary tracks, so if you race this, you're getting 3 temporary tracks. Bang Sen, which I have to say is an FIA Grade 3 track. It's an international standard track. Porsche Carrera Cup has come here, a series like that. So it's a very sophisticated, very well organized track. Then you have Phuket and Chiang Mai, which are temporary tracks. They give you more street experience. And then Toyota takes you to Buriram as well to support race series there. So you're racing at Buriram, which is a world-class track. It's Hold MotoGP. It's FIA Grade 1 registered, so they could hold Formula 1 there if they wanted to. But you're racing on a Formula 1 standard track. You're racing on street tracks. You're getting the whole mix and you're getting a cool show. You're getting all that razzmatazz, that glamour that you get with Motorsport comes with Toyota series, and they do it at a rock bottom price where you can really get involved and it's not too expensive. You can try going racing. You can use this as a stepping stone if you want to be the next Lewis Hamilton. You can start here. It's a cheap, cost-effective way. If you want to race for fun at the weekends, that's your thing. You can do it with this. If you want to just try racing, see what you're like, this is for you. So Toyota have got it nailed. They've got all the boxes ticked off, and this series is pumped. And now the Yaris is coming back, and that's a significant addition to the series. That's it for me. quick walk around of the Yaris. Hopefully in the future I kind of bring you something on track with it, maybe a bit more, but for now I just wanted to talk you through, walk you through the car.